go! Karate chop!
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Today is Tuesday. That's right, today is Tuesday, August 6th, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Tuesday, August 6th, 2019. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this incredible day. Fair enough? Let's make the absolute most of this incredible day. I'm kind of excited because tonight being Tuesday, August 6th, 2019, I have been asked to speak at the Black Achievers Awards, which will be going on tonight at the YMCA in Paris, Kentucky. So a little hometown opportunity to pour into the youth of Bourbon County. I'm super excited about that. So if you're in the Paris area, I'm not sure if it's just an open to the public type deal or not, but I do know they have the Black Achievers Award ceremony going on tonight, and I get to keynote, which is so cool that I get to talk to those kids. So I'm super excited about that. Last night, I got home after working all day yesterday. I got home and my wife has gone to town on the Lundy House. Seriously. My wife has gone to town on the Lundy House, dude. She's in her element. She's in her zone. My wife is she likes organization. She gets satisfaction. She gets a lot of satisfaction out of the completion of a cycle, which she doesn't always get at home, right? At home, she's constantly cleaning up, and as she's cleaning up, the kids are constantly going behind her, making a mess. So she's loving this move thing. For those of you that didn't watch yesterday's episode, we are in the process of a move. We are moving into a new home, a bigger home, and an incredible opportunity that God put in our path. And so it was all on short notice, though, and it's been a little chaotic. So my wife has been boxing everything up. I got home yesterday and every wall in the house has been repainted. I don't know how she got that accomplished, but she did. She covered up every little nail hole with spackle the other day. She just went through the house, pow, 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 pow. So she's got it spackled. She's got it painted. She's got it gutted. She's got everything in boxes. She stripped everything in the house to the bare necessities. Now, we don't move for another month. Let's make sure we have clarity on this. We don't actually move out of the house for another month, but she's stripped everything, all of the stuff, all of the junk, all of the clutter. She's stripped all of that out of the house. And all we have left now are the necessities, the things that are required, the things that we need to live on a day-to-day basis. Those are the only things that are left in the house. She stripped everything else out. And in doing so, she opened up the opportunity for us to see the weaknesses in the house, the scuffs in the walls, the things that need to be repainted, so on and so forth, right? So I got home last night, and man, I got to tell you, not only was I shocked by how much she's gotten done, but it felt really, really good. It did. It felt really, really good to have the house just stripped of the clutter, to only have the necessities that we need to live on a day-to-day basis. Like there was just this feeling that came over me as I walked around the house. It was different. It was unique. It wasn't stressful. It wasn't chaotic. It was peaceful, really, which is a very strong word for me to use when it comes to the Lundy House. Rarely can I use the word peaceful, but it was peaceful. And see, yesterday on the show, we've been discussing this process of moving. We talked about how first we have to determine the destination, right? Step one, before we create a move, whether it be a move physically or a move in our careers, step one is we have to determine the destination. Then step 2, as we talked about, is we have to strip down and remove all of the clutter, which is what my wife has done the last couple days. And then that exposes the weaknesses. Which is what my wife did at the house. She exposed all the weaknesses. And then we can now repair those weaknesses. And then the final step is to move to what's next. So we talked about this yesterday. We talked about this process of moving, how we can apply it in our careers, right? And that's what we're going to talk more about this week, is how we can use that to move our careers forward, to move to the next levels for our life. But before we go too deep, we're going to play this for Terry LaPierre. This is my man Terry LaPierre. This is the part of the show. That's right, we're going to do a little dancing this morning. Let's go. Let's get the energy up. This is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, we can make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. This is also the part of the show where I'm going to say good morning to you, and you're going to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Good morning, Don Sankey. What's up, Gil Beecraft? How you doing, Scott Simons and Jeremy Nolan? What's up, Nathaniel Banks? Janelle Griego? Vicki Everett's in the house. What's up, Whitney Wells and Eric Willeroy? What's up, AJ Anderson? Jeff Baker's in the house. What's up, Lisa Marie Kennedy? It's always a pleasure to see you. What's up, Mike Stevens and my man Josh? Oh, what's up, Mia Reed, Susan Rose, Tabby Negrit, Raven Pope, Jeremy Nolan. What's up, Jeremy Nolan? What's up, Vicki Everett? I think I already said your name. What's up, Cindy Conley, Brad Smith, Mike Higdon? Everybody's up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind. My man Josh Negron. What's up, Josh Negron? David Perrin, Jean-Paul Guidry is up in here. Nathaniel Banks, Miss Liza Meyer Borges. Of course, we've got Stephanie Cross. She's my new friend. I'm super excited to see her in Tennessee. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, hit that share button. Let's get rocking and rolling. Dude, today, not only is today August 6, 2019, but today is also the 10-day mark. That's right, 10 days. 10 days until this incredible Grow Your Business for God's Sake event. And, you know, I was talking about this yesterday with a friend of mine. I was talking about all the different people that start their own business and the statistic that most businesses will fail within the first 10 years, 85% of them. And we also were talking about people that are they just feel stuck in their jobs. They just feel like they've been stuck there forever and they can't get out. And we talked about how many people in this country are depressed. They don't look forward to going to work. They're living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm here to tell you today, that's not how you were designed to live. You see, you've been called to a life of abundance, and you have the ability and responsibility to live that out. And see, at the very first ever Grow Your Business for God's Sake event, we want to empower you with the proven principles and strategies you need to grow and excel in your business. Whether you're making minimum wage right now, or whether maybe you're working your way up the chain, maybe you're the CEO of the company, most people don't know that there is an actual biblical blueprint that, if executed, can lead you to a life of wealth and abundance. Most people don't know this. One where you can give back to your communities, help others out wherever they are, and create a generational legacy that's going to last forever. This experience is designed to tap into that. It's not just a conference, an experience where we're going to tap into the spiritual side so that you can unlock the secrets and grow your full potential. It's going to be an incredible event. If you haven't already got your tickets to the Grow Your Business for God's Sake event, Nashville, Tennessee, August 16th and 17th, I need you to come join me. Come join me and my incredibly powerful friends. We're going to help you unlock that potential. Can you believe that? A business conference in a church. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? A business conference in a church. What a beautiful thing. Listen, we've been talking this week about moving. First we determine where we are going. Then we remove all of the clutter. Then we expose all the weaknesses. Then we repair the weaknesses. And then we move on to what's next, right? We move on to what's next. So my question for you today is, in your career, where are you going? Like, what's next? I don't want to know what your final destination is. Sometimes we get really stuck and hung up on the final destination. I want to know what's next for you in your career. Like, I want you to drop this in the comments. I need a destination. Like, maybe what's next for you in your career is you're going to become a 30 car guy. You've been a 25 car guy and you're going to become a 30. Or maybe what's next in your career is you've been a saleswoman for a really long time and now you're looking at becoming a sales manager. Or maybe what's next in your career is you've been a nurse for a while but you're wanting to be a doctor. Or maybe what's next in your career is you've been the number 4 person in real estate in your area, but now you want to become the number 3 person in your area in real estate. Maybe what's next in your career is for you to become the number 1 MLM agent. Maybe you've been number 2 for a while and next is for you to be number 1. Maybe what's next in your career is you want to head the human resources department. You've been a part of these departments, but now you want to head it so that you can help more people. Maybe what's next in your career is for you to make $5,000 a month. You've been making $4,000 a month. You want to go to 5. Maybe what's next in your career is you were making 10 and you want to go to 20. Maybe what's next in your career is you were making 20 and you want to go to 50. What is the next thing for you? What is the next thing in your career, in your day-to-day life, this thing that we spend so much time pouring into? I need to know. I want you to drop it in the comments and tell me what is next, because without a destination, we can't create the things. We cannot go through this process of creating a move. And I told you I'm going to challenge you this week. I'm going to move you in your career this week. We're going to move you financially this week. We're going to forcefully take this action to get you to move. So I need you to interact. I need you to engage. I want you to drop it in the comment. What's next for you? Maybe what's next for you is to buy another store. Maybe what's next to you is to invest in another business. Maybe what's next for you career-wise is to develop a relationship with the people that work for you or the people that you work for. What's next? What's the next step? Not the final destination, but the next step. We have to determine that today. We have to determine that now in order for you to move forward.
There's a saying that just because you've spent a long time making a mistake doesn't mean you need to continue making it. There's an incredible advantage in life for those who can separate past and future, who can recognize sunk costs and walk away from the past, move on to new things. But here's the challenge, right? Like so many things, our instinct is to preserve. Yeah, but I've invested so many years. I've spent X amount of dollars and maybe I don't like where I'm at, but look how long it's taken me to get here. Well, here's the reality. That time is gone. That money is not coming back no matter what you do or what direction you take from here on out. There's no reason to think you have to maintain the same trajectory or hold on to a specific identity or pattern of behavior. Yesterday isn't the focal point here. The goal is simpler. What matters now, and how will you get there now? You've grown, you've evolved, you've changed, and your targets have shifted, so why shouldn't you? The idea of sunk costs is so important because it's essentially realizing that you're not indebted to the resources you've spent or exhausted. There's no need to be a slave to previous decisions that you've made. No, just chalk it up as an integral step in your learning process, an aspect of growth, and move forward to what matters, to what you care about. And if that seems obvious, I challenge you to think about the decisions you've made over the last year, and I guarantee you've let factors affect your decision-making that are irrelevant to your goals. Because we feel this camaraderie with yesterday, like there's a debt to be paid, but man, life is too short to run in place, if it's not pushing you forward, drop it. If it's not what you need, forget it. In other words, don't be one of those people that wakes up and makes the same mistake every single day because you've spent a long time making it. See, reality only exists in your head, and that's why it's beautiful. You can unlock the cell door and walk out. Don't lose sight of the greatest gift you have. The new beginning that lives in every second, where you can take a turn you've never taken before, remove the mask and play a role you've never played. Let that sense of excitement pull you to new things. Let go of what you can't change and pursue what you can. Forget the time spent. Think of now. Where can you invest now? Your surroundings didn't magically arrive. You chose them, and you can just as easily take that wheel and leave. Simple formula. What is best for you, and how do you get there? Not where you feel obligated to be or expected to be or pressured to be. Where do you need to be? Everything else is noise. Everything else is a rope keeping your ship on shore, and you are not confined to that harbor or yesterday's destination. You're built to chase the horizon, follow your curiosity into the sunset. You don't make decisions based on yesterday's story. You sculpt it with tomorrow's possibility.
Don't make decisions based on yesterday's story. Sculpt it. Sculpt it with tomorrow's possibilities. Those are super, super, super strong words. So we're all in agreement, right? We're not going to allow our sunken costs, which is what it is. It's called sunken costs. This is an actual thing, this sunken cost. So yes, we've been in this for a long time. Yes, we've done it this way for a long time, but that doesn't matter. One decision, one change in direction, we can move forward to wherever we want to go. The possibilities are endless. So my question for you now, hopefully you dropped it in the comments, whatever your next step is. I saw tons of people's next steps, which are beautiful. I love this morning. This is incredible. If you're enjoying this, hit the likes, hit the hearts. Make sure you like the show. Make sure you share the show. So I'm seeing all of that in there. That's good. So now here's what I want you to do, okay? We've determined two things this morning. You've determined what your next step is, what the next step, not the final destination, but just the next step. You've determined that. We all agree that we're not going to live our life determined based on these sunken costs, right? The sunken costs are out. We understand we're going to live our life based on the possibilities of what tomorrow holds. So now that we're there, now that we're right here in this space, I want to know, I want you to start thinking like, what exactly does that next level look like? Okay, what does that next step look like? Put yourself in the position. Like, how much do you have to have in order to exist at that next level? What do you have to wear at that next level? Right? Like, how do you, like, what does life look like for you when you're in that level? What habits do you have to have in order to consistently maintain that level? Whatever that next step is, I want you to fast forward in your mind as if that next step already exists, and I want you to look around the room. Look around the room. Who's in the room? What do you look like in that room? And see, at this point now, once we do that, once we put ourselves in that position, whatever that next step is, your next step is, I'm going to be a sales manager. Okay, what do you look like as a sales manager? How do you act as a sales manager? What room are you in as a sales manager? Who is around you as the sales manager? This is how we're going to determine how to remove the clutter. Because see, when you put yourself in the room, and you see the habits that you have to have, the way that you have to dress, the way that you have to carry yourself, and the people that have to be around you in order for you to succeed in that next step. When you play that out, you can clearly see what's missing. It's not about seeing what's in the room. It's about seeing what's not in the room. That's the clutter that you need to move out of your life. What's gone? Are there people that now that you're at this level, you look around and you're like, holy smokes, homeboy's not in the room. Or maybe there's a bad habit that you currently have and you're like, wait a minute, that bad habit is not with me when I'm at that next level. Do you understand? Do you understand that you have this ability, which is so great? We have this power in our mind where we can actually see the future. And by seeing the future and comparing it, if we run those two tapes, if we run the tape of you at the next level as the number 3 real estate agent in the country, we run that tape and then we run it alongside the tape of how we're currently living our day-to-day life right now, we can see what needs to be removed. The clutter that has to come out of tape number 1 so that we can live out tape number 2. Maybe when you're at that next level, maybe when you become the doctor that you want to be, maybe you don't see that doctor sitting watching 2 to 3 hours of Netflix every single day. Maybe when you see yourself at the next level where you're making $20,000 a month, maybe you've noticed as you looked around in the room, you've noticed that you don't have time to spend 8 hours on social media a day. What does it look like when you step into that next level? That's how we remove the clutter. Maybe there's a grudge. Maybe there's a grudge you have on someone and you realize you're like, man, once I get to that next level, I'm not going to care about that anymore. Maybe there's something buried deep, something that happened to you in your past, something that hurt you or someone that hurt you. And maybe you're like, man, when I'm financially free, I really wouldn't care about that anymore. See, you're not going to be able to get to that next level. We're not going to be able to move you forward until you remove the clutter. And so this week is mirror time for you. Where are you moving to? What is the destination? Not the final destination, the next step. What does that look like? What does it look like once you're there? And what do we have to get rid of to get there? That's what I want you to focus on today. Yesterday I gave you the steps. We're going to go through them all this week. But today's a difficult one. Today's a look in the mirror moment. My friend Janelle Delgado, she says you must become the one that your results require. And what that means is that you must be the person now. Become the person now that your next level life requires. Remove the clutter. Get into that clean space. The clean space where you just the necessities, just the basics, the necessities, the things that you need for the day-to-day living, the things that you need in order to achieve your greatest possibilities, the things that you need in order to step into your dreams and to move your life forward. I want freedom for you. I want financial freedom for you. I want freedom from burden from you. I want stress-free. I want you to have joy in your life. It's hard to have joy when we're surrounded by a mess. The mess is what's holding you back from getting to that next level. It's not that it's out of range. It's not that it's not a possibility for you. It's not your talent. It's not your skill. It's none of that. It's the clutter. And this week we're going to strip that away so that we can move you forward. Listen, my friend, there's something I know about you. You may know it, you may not. But see, I know that you are a child of God, right? The God of the universe, the God who made everything. He made you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Best version. Not a subpar version, not a little bit above average, but the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And these tiny tweaks, these tiny little decisions to remove a piece here, to remove a little bit of clutter there, it may seem small at the time, but ultimately these decisions that you're going to make, they're going to make an impact. They're going to make an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. The decisions you've made to this day have already made an impact on me. And I, for one, I absolutely stinking love you for it. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. But the people around you are going to love you even more when you start to make, when you start to become the one your results require, when you start to remove the clutter and make the decisions that are going to take you to that next step, that are going to move you forward. Listen, I want you to go out there and have an incredible day today. Spend some time in the mirror. Spend some time in the mirror. Put yourself in that spot. Take a look around. What's not there? That's what's got to go. But have an incredible day today. If you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you haven't got some Rise and Grind gear, I'm telling you, sometimes you just throw on your Rise and Grind gear and something happens. It's magical. It's transformative. If you haven't got some yet, go to glennlundy.com. If you've already got some Rise and Grind gear, you got some of the new stuff, please post it, man. I love seeing you guys wearing the Rise and Grind gear out and about all around the world. It's just fuel. It fires me up. It helps me wake up at 3:50 in the morning so I can come spend every single day with you. But most importantly, will you do me a favor? Come back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. See you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind, grind, grind. 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 Hashtag Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind. Don't stop, get it, get it. Hashtag Rise and Grind. Don't stop, get it, get it. Waking up the nation, hashtag Rise and Grind. Waking up the nation, hashtag Rise and Grind. Good morning. On my feet before the sunrise, stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. Hashtag blessed. Write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum. I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning, and I'ma wake the world is so alarmed. And I hashtag Rise and Grind, hashtag Rise and Grind. First thing on my